This week, the Supreme Court lifted a federal judge's order that had temporarily blocked the Trump administration from ending temporary legal protections for a group of nearly 350,000 Venezuelans in the US, meaning that since they stopped the block, he can now take away that temporary protected status and he can begin to deport even more of them. And you would think that's good news for Trump, right? That's good news for MAGA. MAGA should be happy, but the issue is that being MAGA is not about being happy about anything. It's about being enraged at liberals. And it's difficult to find a way to be enraged when you just got the thing that you wanted, when the conservative supermajority of the Supreme Court gave you what you wanted. But they found a way, actually. And they are very, very mad and being very, very racist about it, by the way. See, it was an unsigned decision that the SCOTUS put out to take away this block that had been there. And in it, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson made clear that she would have dissented. We don't have the actual vote on the unsigned order. That's how an unsigned order works, but she did not agree with it. And it is possible that she was the only one, that it might be 8-1, but it doesn't matter to MAGA. The one is bad enough, and that's the whole focus of this right now. And so after this decision started making headlines, MAGA immediately moved on from, oh great, we get more of the deportations that are the only things that can keep us erect. And we're gonna move right on to Ketanji Brown Jackson and we're gonna attack her in the most vicious terms possible. And so that's what they're doing. Saying things like Ketanji Brown Jackson, the only Supreme Court justice to rule against Trump in today's alien parole decision, unqualified. She proves it every time. She's unqualified because she disagreed, unqualified. And he's not the only one. Ian Yeager says she's totally unqualified to serve on the Supreme Court. Totally unqualified. Now, it is gonna get more vicious than that, but just briefly, I looked into it because I think there are people in government that are unqualified. I talk about them all the time. So is Ketanji Brown Jackson unqualified to be in the Supreme Court? Well, according to the New York City Bar, she has the highest level of qualification, actually. They can sometimes just return a qualified to be on the Supreme Court thing. They did highly qualified. And there's some reasons they did that, actually. See, she not only went to Harvard, editor of the Harvard Law Review, all that stuff that they all do before you become a Supreme Court justice or whatever. She served on the US District Court for the District of Columbia for nearly 8 years. That gives her more trial court experience than any sitting Supreme Court justice and more than any justice since the 1920s, actually. She's the second sitting justice to serve at all 3 levels of the federal judiciary. The other one, by the way, is Sotomayor. There's no conservative that has that accolade. She has more years of experience as a judge than 4 of the sitting justices combined, not than any of the 4, than all of them combined. First public defender to become a Supreme Court justice in the history of the court, bringing that unique and I would say needed experience to it. She's the first justice with substantial criminal defense experience since Thurgood Marshall retired way back in 1991. So she, look, you can disagree with her, and I have and I will, but she is not just qualified, she is arguably more qualified than any of the others, except for that one aspect. Indisputable to the right, anytime they see her, it doesn't matter about Harvard, it doesn't matter about the district judge, the criminal experience, being on the US, the sentencing commission for 4 years, none of that matters. She is black after all, and also a woman, but I think in this particular case, it's that she's black, and so she can't be qualified, and they are very clear about that. Someone else added in the discussion, she's extremely low IQ, and I think that we all know exactly what that means, that dog whistle is loud enough that dogs in other solar systems can hear it. Let's see, Freedom Nation says Ketanji Brown Jackson is a DEI plant who is just an activist who should have never been in the Supreme Court, just an activist. Well, she also served at all 3 levels of the judiciary, has criminal experience, was a public defender, Harvard Law Review, all those things that if it was a white man would make him, oh my God, the most amazing thing ever, but she's just a DEI plant. And I think we've all known for a long time what that means. You use the D term because you can't yet use the N term. That's all that this means. That's all that this is a conversation that is about. And so I'm very excited for the right wing that they have this little term that they can use in place of saying that racial slur. It's quicker too, only 3 characters. So in a tweet, you can fit in way more conspiracy theories and stuff, saving letters each time you want to type the N word. And so very excited for them. Thank you to Ketanji Brown Jackson for standing up for these migrants who are going to be mass deported, maybe into vicious circumstances, maybe to rot in prisons despite committing no crimes. At least she stood up for them.